Hey everyone, Fallout here, and I have to apologize. This video is actually a perfect opportunity for me to make the following point very clear to all of you. Destiny is weird, and keeping track of everything in this game is harder than it looks. Recently, I was messaged by Clegmere on Reddit. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but knowing my track record with pronouncing words, probably not. Clegmere asked me why I had picked Accurized Rounds over Ricochet Rounds in my God Roll video on the Service Revolver hand cannon. And as soon as I read the first line of his message, I knew I done goofed. You see, this is why I try to push myself to make as many videos with important info that I can, because it helps me remember all of this crap. Let's cut to the chase. Some of you likely already know this, but I'm sure a great deal of you don't. Either way, it's a good refresher. Even though the golden rule of range equals accuracy has not changed in Destiny, Ricochet Rounds is a sneaky son of a gun, and even though on paper it only shows you a boost of +5 range, it's actually more complex than that. Of course, this isn't mentioned on the perk itself, because why would it be? But Ricochet Rounds also gives your weapon an internal zoom buff, which functions in a way similar to the perk Rangefinder. If any of you right now are thinking, hey, this sounds kind of familiar, yeah, it is. Other community members have already talked about this way back when, and I even made a video on it myself over a year ago, in a video talking about blue and green weapons that I actually enjoyed using in PvP. The hand cannon, the Allegro 34, had Ricochet Rounds, and I talked about this perk back then. So I said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm sorry, it's just really hard to keep track of all this stuff sometimes. So, anyway, if your gun gets a boost to zoom, that is also going to help out its overall range, its damage drop-off point, and the weapon's accuracy. And some of you right now might be asking, but Fallout, I tried zooming in with my gun with Ricochet Rounds, and it doesn't really look like it gives a zoom buff at all. And believe me, I know, because hey, why make things easy? Anyway, let's cut ahead to the numbers. Here we have multiple different Duke hand cannons. The first Duke has a range stat of 86, and that's without Ricochet Rounds. The second one has a range stat of 80 with Ricochet Rounds. That's a difference of 6 range, but as you can see, the second Duke with the lower range and Ricochet Rounds has a noticeably better damage drop-off point by about 3 meters, which some of you might think is minor, but hey, we're out here trying to find the best possible weapon rolls, so 3 in this case is actually kind of a big number. Just in case any of you ask, yeah, one of my Duke hand cannons has opening shot on it, but I made sure to fire off a pre-round before testing any of these damage numbers to ensure that opening shot would not affect the final data. And in case you were curious, Ricochet Rounds and Rangefinder do stack together for sure. A third Duke hand cannon with 78 range with both Ricochet and Rangefinder together had an even further out damage drop-off point by 3 more meters. Oh, and to all of you out there who repeatedly yell at me while I'm streaming on Twitch to delete duplicate weapons out of my vault because it's weird and why would I have so many versions of the same gun? Today is one of those days where I get to say, haha, it's for videos like this, never come at me again. Anyway, in conclusion, the golden rule of range has not changed. Range is an extremely important stat in Destiny which can help you get a better damage drop-off point and better weapon accuracy. But even though Ricochet Rounds shows only a +5 range buff on paper and Accurized shows a +10, Ricochet Rounds is better because of a hidden internal zoom buff which helps your weapon's range more than a straight +5 range boost. So any weapon where you're looking for a lot of range, i.e. the Service Revolver, and you have the option of both Ricochet Rounds and Accurized in the same column, the winner would in all likelihood be Ricochet Rounds. In conclusion number 2, again, yes, all of this is relatively difficult to constantly keep in your head. Sorry for forgetting this one. That's my B. Definitely not the first fuck up I've ever made, and I'll tell you one thing, boys, it definitely will not be the last. Please click subscribe if you haven't already, because I told you to, and check me out on Twitch. Be sure to check out our Discord if you're cool, and also follow me on Twitter because, why not? Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.